Hello, welcome back. My name is Birdie, aka the BIRDIESAURUS. I don't know why I'm talking like this. Anyways, welcome to a new series I like to call Birdie Spoils. Now, that doesn't mean I'm going to be ruining things for you. Ruining it. Okay, I just want to let you know in advance, though. It means I'm going to spoiler things. Oh my god, spoilers! But I'm letting you know in advance, okay? There will be lots of spoilers. I'm going to talk about new things I've seen or watched or read or heard, my thoughts and opinions on that, and then I hope that you can kind of chat back a little bit with me and let me know what you thought as well. The very first Birdie Spoils is going to be all about best friends. Part 1. So I just got home from the movie theater and I saw the newest brainchild of Greg Sestero and Tommy Wiseau of, The Room fame or Disaster Artist, and not into the cool hip shit like the rest of us are not into. Ridiculous, horrible cult classics. Anyways, if you haven't seen The Room, please go see it. And also, if you haven't seen The Room, a lot of this, what I'm going to talk about, probably won't make a ton of sense, but that's okay. So this movie can only be described as like a beautiful nightmare. Just a realistically beautiful nightmare. You know, The Room would have been, I probably would have called it a beautiful disaster. Well, it was the follow-up was called A Disaster Artist, but I mean, that movie was just a wreck. But it was freaking hilarious. Fucking hilarious. Can I say that on YouTube? This one it's got a sinister undertone to it. The cool thing was, though, that there were a lot of callbacks to The Room. I think that I really enjoyed looking for those little Easter eggs, but this one was definitely different. And it was I think written and directed by Greg Sestero, who played Mark. He played Mark. I couldn't remember what his name was. He played Mark in the original The Room. In this movie, Tommy played, what was that guy's name? Wilson? God, I forgot. Greg this time played someone named John or Johnny. John. They called him John. I'm bad at describing things. So the whole premise is this drifter we don't know a lot about shows up in town. He befriends Tommy Wiseau's character. Was his name Tommy? I don't know. I'll look it up later. He befriends this character who happens to own a morgue. But it gets weirder. Of course it does. It gets weirder. They end up becoming, quote, business partners. After Greg's character, John, wish they didn't have names. After he stole a bunch of gold teeth that Tommy had taken out of people's dead mouths and sells it to some dude, I don't know, like a dentist, it becomes this multi-million-dollar enterprise, essentially. They just start selling gold from people's faces. At first it's kind of weird, and then you're like, wow, these guys are actually making some money. Okay, cool. But they start to have issues because of it. Greg meets a girl, and I think that Tommy gets a little jealous. Tommy's holding on real tight to the money and says Greg can't have it right then. And so things just get weird. It's gonna be interesting. It's definitely gonna be interesting. Like I said, spoilers. So this one ends where they get in a fight and Tommy may or may not be dead. We don't know. And there was this weird trippy thing at the end where, I don't know if it was a dream. Greg was on fire for a while. The Marlboro Man shows up for some reason. I have no idea. Like, it was very, very strange. But I'm kind of looking forward to the next one, as weird as that may seem. Like, was this movie good? But was it awesome? Yeah. That's the only way I can describe it. Like, it definitely wasn't a good movie, but neither was The Room. I think he knew what he was doing. He knew he was playing off of the recent fame of The Disaster Artist, which was based on a book that he wrote, by the way. The Disaster Artist came out. The Room did their, like, re-release in theaters. Well, that was in January, I think. You know, they were definitely rolling off this high. Now, I will say I'm kind of disappointed because there were only 9 or 10 of us in the movie theater, and I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed in all of you out there in YouTube land because you guys should have been there. It was genuinely worth going to see. I mean, come on. Tommy Wiseau, how could you not love that man? There were definitely some bad things. There was no attention to detail. There's a part where Greg's shaving his face, and then when he's done, rather than having a clean shaven face, he's still got like stubble. And he's like touching his face like, ooh, it's so smooth. And I'm like, bro, you're like a fucking cactus. What are you doing? There was obviously some improv and bloopers that were left in. There's one part where you can actually see Greg turn his face to laugh because of something that Tommy said. There's a couple points points where you can tell Tommy missed a line or came in too early. So there was some classic stuff in there. And like I said, there's a lot of callbacks. He yells out at one point, "You're driving me crazy, John." And at one point he's like, "Oh, hi, John," instead of, "Oh, hi, Mark." It is weird though. Like, just the cinematography of it is kind of strange. Some of it was really cool actually, and the music was good. It was a little overpowering. Whoever mixed their sound was not on point. There were some good, solid lines that came out of there. Like, there was one that I really connected to, is classic Tommy. "Loneliness is hard sometimes, but it's easier than losing someone," you know? It seemed very in line with Tommy's philosophy on life. He was really, really himself. I feel like they didn't even give him a script. Everything that came out of his mouth was so Tommy Wiseau. If you've seen any interviews with him or know anything about him as a person, everything was just, it felt like it came right from his heart. Even the ridiculous parts, you know, even when he's yelling at someone about something that doesn't even make any sense and he's just rambling, kind of like me. You can definitely see Tommy in those lines. I appreciated that even though Greg wrote it, he didn't force Tommy someone he's not, because that wouldn't have worked. Because no one watches Tommy Wiseau for his acting skills. Sorry, Tommy. There was a couple weird things, like some slightly racist comments about Chinese people. That was odd. There's accusations of necrophilia. There's like a scene about a clown that basically committed suicide by candlestick, and let's just say, no, I don't even know how to describe it. He put a candlestick up his butt. Okay. So it was really, really weird. But I'm kind of looking forward to the next one. I want to see where the story goes. That's the one redeeming quality, is that it's an interesting story. The concept itself is different. Even if it's not the best storytelling, it's still an interesting storyline. And I want to see who wins. Obviously, I'm on Tommy's side, duh. I want to see if in the end they do become best friends, if they're able to get over it, if they murder each other, if the girlfriend runs away with all the money. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. So if you weren't already planning to go to Best Friends Volume 2 in June, I recommend you go see it. I don't know if they'll do a recap, but you can always ask me. I can tell you what happened. Yeah, I liked it, but I'm weird. It's fine. Listen, I thought it was a solid movie. It was kind of what I expected coming from these guys, and I think that Greg did a good job of honoring where they came from and trying to push them forward and make them better than they were before. I was impressed. I wasn't amazed, but I was impressed. So guys, thank you for watching, for hanging out for our very first Birdie Spoils. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought. Let me know if you saw the movie, if you wanted to see it, if you don't want to see it, if you think they're nuts, if you love them, so on and so forth. And then let me know what you think of Birdie Spoils. Is it something you're looking forward to seeing more of? Is there something you'd like me to spoil for you? Also, don't forget to follow me on the Twitters at theBIRDIESAURUS. I will link my Discord down below. You're welcome to join and have a chat with us. The spoilers will continue. ... Good night, guys.